Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. I just want to put up just a quick video just to tell you guys about something that happened the other day. It's happened before, but this time I really took a little bit of extra time to inspect this item. And you guys know there's lots of hate across the watch community, which really sucks. And I know I talk about this subject quite a bit, and it's not the fact that I'm I don't feel like I'm wasting my time, because I feel like that there is a huge group of people who maybe are thinking about buying a watch, maybe not sure what to buy, and there's lots of great brands out there, lots of great homage watches if you're looking for something styled like a Rolex. Invicta makes them, Nemo makes them, I've reviewed several, Sterling. And you know, a lot of those companies, they don't make just one watch. They know there's a market for that. A lot of guys like that style. It's simplistic. It's been around for a very, very long time. And again, I have some homage watches I've gotten as sponsorships, and you know what? I wear them. Lots of my Nemo watches. I have some Alexander watches, Sterling, and they all kind of have that similar styling to a Rolex. And let's face it, you know, we can call that a Rolex homage watch, or there's lots of watches that's been around before Rolex who share that same style. I mean, it's a very basic design. There's nothing really special about the design. There's nothing really artistic or fancy. It's a basic watch. Now, that is just my opinion. It doesn't mean that I think the brand that, you know, Rolex is crap, or you know, I'm not going to bash any brand like you guys, you know, like I've said before, you know. I really try not to do that, and, you know, but I gotta come out and be real with my subscribers. You know, I deal with a lot of people in my primary job. This is my second job, you know, the YouTube, and I love it. It's a passion, it's a hobby, and you know, and I make money doing it too. It's awesome. I get to branch out to companies, they send me stuff, and I get to share it with you guys. And I love watches. I love all watches. And you know, if I was a millionaire, super rich guy, maybe I would have a Rolex or an Omega, but I'd probably lean more towards the Omega than the Rolex. But really, to be honest with you, the only reason I would buy it is just to say I have one. And I think that's why a lot of people buy them. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you like the whole art of horology and what, you know, the story behind them, then that's fantastic. But I have to be honest with you guys, and I know some of you aren't going to be happy, but so at work the other day, I deal with thousands of people every single day. And so I don't always get the opportunity to always have a long conversation with them, but I see a lot of watches throughout the day. And sometimes you know, I don't want to come across as kind of weird, you know, and like, yeah, man, can I check that out? But the other day I saw one, and a guy was wearing a Rolex watch. So I stopped him and I said, hey, I'm like, can I take a look at that? Is that a Rolex? And he was like, yeah. I was like, man. So I picked it up, I felt it, I played with the bezel. I took the time to really look at it, and we talked for a little bit, and I guess it was a gift from his wife that, you know, she got him, and I said, man, that's beautiful. Thank you for letting me take the time to check it out. However, after he left, and you know, I went right over to my coworkers. I said, you have got to be kidding me. And you know, I may have dropped some F-bombs in there, but the point is, I was blown away. I was speechless almost. The fact that somebody would spend that kind of money on that kind of quality. I just couldn't believe it. It to me, in my personal opinion, now I'm not saying that inside maybe, you know, that movement is so, I mean, Rolex has been around for a very long time too. They've really, I mean, I don't know, you know, I always say that you can have good luck and bad luck with anything. I've talked to thousands of people on my YouTube channel, how they've had to have their Rolex serviced. Some haven't had to have it serviced. And some guys own Invicta and Rolex, and they like watches, and they like them just as much. They got one in their collection. They enjoy both. They're not a hater, and they're a troll. And unfortunately, there are people out there, and, you know, I've dealt with, you know, a couple of them recently, that they just don't come on YouTube and just bash the brand. And let's face it, I'm not bashing the brand, but Rolex, I'm sure it's a great quality watch. But when I picked it up, just my personal opinion, when I picked it up and felt it, the band, playing the band, I mean, I just can't rationalize. I would never be able to rationalize spending $5,000 plus for this watch. I mean, this thing didn't feel anywhere near as sturdy as my Invicta Grandiver. I mean, which is like a $130 watch. We're not even talking about stuff like this, the reserve line. The bezel felt the same as any other watch that I have. Again, I have 140 watches. 140? 139. The 140 is coming next week, or the next week after. Another Invicta. You guys are going to love it. But I could not believe that this is what people these snobs, these watch snobs are bragging about and talking about the quality, like it's like Invicta's under their shoe, and these guys are talking about this Rolex watch like it's so amazing. And I'm telling you guys, if you can get your hands on a Rolex and you have a Grand Diver, check it out. You know, let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. And I don't want you to come on and just because you like Invicta be like, oh, it sucked. I want you to give it a fair, honest review if you can get your hands on one. If you're a normal person who has a Rolex and likes watches. You know, some folks out there are like, I love watches, but you know, a lot of people don't love watches. They like one specific brand. I love all brands, and I'd like that. You know, I see something I like, it's either something that talks to me, and I don't really care. You know, it's something that I see and I feel something for it. I'm like, man, I'd like to have that. And it doesn't necessarily always have to be a big over the top watch. Like I just reviewed one by Boulder. That's going to be released. In a couple days here. They sent me one of their brass watches. Very small, very similar in Rolex styling as far as the case is. When I say similar, I mean as far as design, simple. And I love it. You know, so there's always something cool I want to add to my collection, and I think there's, you know, great watches out there from the $130 price point, $80 price point. I think there's good watches out there all the way up to thousands of dollars. And I'm sorry, but once again, I'll state it, and lots of guys on my channel, check the comments, have Rolex, have Omega, have Invicta, and they'll tell you, yeah, it's a great watch, it's a wonderful watch, I love it, I wanted to treat myself, but there is not a difference in quality compared for the price. What I'm saying, I'm not saying you may pick up the Rolex. Maybe you're gonna pick up the Rolex and say, "Oh man, I can really feel this difference." Maybe you will, and I would like to hear about it if you're respectful about it. You know, tell me the difference. Tell me if you're able to put them side by side, compare. You know, and I'm just going with the Grand Diver here because the Grand Diver is a very, very inexpensive watch. I mean, $130. I mean, with a Seiko automatic movement, it's every bit as good as a Seiko watch. I mean, some guys are on this YouTube thing. They're talking about how, oh man, the Seiko is so much better, or Orient, there are all these different brands. Let me tell you guys, I have 140 watches in my collection, some ranging from, you know, 130 all the way up to, you know, a couple grand, you know. And let me tell you, I mean, they're all pretty similar. I mean, you know, and I understand that maybe, you know, Rolex uses a different type of stainless steel. That's fine for if you're gonna, you know, spend your, you know, life on the bottom of the ocean and never come up and maybe be down there 30 years. You know, dead. But you know, it's just to me, it's never gonna be worth the money. You know, some guys out there, they put a watch, you know, the Omega Man on the Moon watch. I mean, big deal. I mean, you could put an Invicta watch on the moon. I mean, you put any brand watch on the moon. I mean, Rolex did the Deep Sea Challenge with James Cameron, the Mariana Trench. I mean, that's great. That's cool. I mean, that to me is more impressive with the pressures and all that stuff. You know, and I can appreciate that, but I'm sorry, guys, but just pick one up. I mean, go to the store. If you have an Invicta, you know, and those snobs will probably laugh at you, but if you can go to a store, check out a Rolex, feel it. I'm not saying go pick up the solid gold Rolex, okay? That costs 30, 40 grand. I'm saying, of course, it's gonna be very heavy. It's gold, but pick up your regular stainless steel Rolex watch. And it's so funny too. I saw one guy. The argument with Rolex a lot of times with guys are like, "Oh, the band. The tolerances of the band." And then another guy, this clown. Recently, I've been going back and forth with on YouTube. This clown. I just put up a video about him. This honest reviewer. You know, publicly states that there's band stretch in his Rolex. It's like, dude, these guys just come up with every reason to bash another brand and to make it seem like that watch, what they paid is worth it because of the quality. And simply, it's not. It's huge markup in there, guys. Huge markup. Like anything else, huge markup. The amount of money in materials, you know, when you buy a luxury brand, you're paying for the name, you're paying for small amount of materials. There's not much more. You want to talk about materials, there's not much more materials in a Rolex watch, a stainless steel, mind you, as compared to a Grand Diver. You know, we're not talking, this isn't some space age material they're using. It's still stainless steel, guys, a different grade, but all those parts are still moving parts. Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna have like some of the indices. I think Rolex uses some, you know, actual gold on a lot of their indices. And I'm not saying I'm a Rolex expert, guys. I have no idea, but I'm sure that, you know, there is more money in materials in a Rolex, but it sure as hell is not more than, I mean, you know, I don't know. I'm not going to state what I don't know, but it's not it doesn't warrant what they charge, plain and simple. So you could talk about R&D and all this time, you know, producing the watch. Guys, they've made the same watch for years. I mean, so I'm sorry. I just find it asinine. But hey, if you like it, that's what matters. I don't think it's a bad looking watch. I don't think you're dumb for buying it. I personally just think that for what you pay for Rolex, it's not worth it, and I'll much rather take an Invicta and tons of other brands. Forget about Invicta. There's tons of other brands out there where you get a great watch that tells a great time, that looks good, gets noticed, and, you know, gets compliments, and, you know, it really comes down to what you like. If it, like I said in the past, if it makes you feel good wearing something, then wear it, enjoy it, but don't think you're better than other people. Don't come back and be like, oh, well, this is why. I give you a million reasons why people hate Rolex too. People can create whatever they want to create and market it on YouTube however they want. You know, you could basically support any argument on why people are going to hate things. And, you know, I don't hate any watch brand. I just don't think for what they charge for luxury brands, it's worth it. I'll never buy one, but I'm definitely not going to come on and you know, try to you know, make them seem like they're garbage, because, you know, they're not. I think they're overpriced. I mean, that's for damn sure, and I think that most people, you know, with a sane thinking mind would think that. But I mean, to each your own. Like I said, wear it if you like it. But I just was blown away. I can't see what the fascination is with the quality. I really don't. I mean, I just don't. So educate me. Let me know, guys. And guys, if you're a troll, please stop telling me on this channel. You guys, I delete your comment. You have these trolls who come on here thinking that, like, oh, well, don't waste your money on Invicta. It's just, you know, you haven't really grown into the real world of watch collecting. No, I have. This is what I like. So obviously, if you have a brain, comment, which you don't, or common sense, you're coming on a channel with 695 videos, a lot of videos on here about Invicta watches and Aragon. I like this. My price point, $300 or less. That's what I like to spend on watches. I feel you get a lot of my watch for your money. I'll never spend $5 grand. I can go buy a Rolex anytime I want. I don't want to. I don't like them. I will never rationalize $5 grand for a watch that, to me, feels just like my $300 Neymar watch, or $220, or whatever it is, whatever they're selling for on Amazon right now. They look the same, they feel the same, and the only difference to me is, yeah, maybe the Rolex is better on the inside, but to me, I would not find the Rolex any more enjoyable than that $220 or $250 Neymar or Invicta or whatever other brand watch. Ridiculous. I'd rather do something else with that money. So, all right, guys, let me know what you guys think. Let me know your experiences. I love hearing about it. And as always, have a fantastic day, guys. Take care.